In the NBA, the Utah Jazz are off to a slow start. What's going wrong with the Utah Jazz, and what can we do to fix it? Let's talk Utah Jazz basketball. Now, man, are they off to a slow start. They're in the middle of a road trip.
Yep.
What do you think so far about your Utah Jazz? What's standing out to you? What's the problem?
The biggest problem is their defense is absolutely atrocious. They can't stop anybody. I'm not sure what's up with Will Hardy and throwing these guys into these zone defense looks, but it's been horrible, dude. The problem is when you're in zone, you need to be able to sag off and help a driving player. No one's sagging off to help with anything, right? All that's happening is they're dropping back a little bit, and then after they drop back a little bit, they're just leaving these corner guys wide open, and I'm very curious to see what teams are shooting from the three against the Jazz, because I'm guessing it's fantastic. I'm guessing they're probably shooting just ridiculous stats against the Jazz because their defense has been horrible.
So as far as their defensive rating right now, yes, it is terrible. They're number 26 in the league when it comes to defensive rating. They're allowing 120.1 points per game, and they're only averaging about 110 points per game scored, somewhere around there, 114, something like that. It's not great.
Yeah, a -9 on the net.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not great. How much of this is due to the first of all, I want to point out something. The Jazz's first game against Sacramento, when what's his name did that dirty play and hyperextended Walker Kessler's elbow.
Who's now out?
He's expected not to play today due to elbow inflammation. That was just a dirty play, and I can't believe they got away with it.
Unfortunately, and I love Walker Kessler, and I think he's been a fantastic tool. You can tell he's been playing hurt. I mean, you can tell he's in some discomfort. He's not playing a ton of minutes, and he has not been super productive. I mean, his usage rate's down around 12%, which is really bottom half of the league for a guy that was, a huge part. I mean, he's one of our building blocks for this Jazz team, right? He's way down there. He's just really struggled.
Except for that corner three, man.
The very first game, he makes a corner three, and you're like, this is the guy we needed right here. Walker Kessler has come to save us.
My issue here is with this is obvious defense is terrible, but the turnovers, man, the turnovers are just insane. This is sloppy play that's coming in. They're not running an offense. At least they're not really running an offense efficiently. We joked about it. They have a plethora of people at the guard line, but I think the biggest problem is we don't have a true point guard. THT is a shooting guard masquerading as a point guard to start the season, and he needs to learn how to play the point guard position, or there's really just not a spot in the NBA for him. He needs to figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, THT, he needs to keep his head up while he's dribbling, right? He's got to be looking for someone to pass the ball to, instead of just dropping his head, going full speed to the basket and hoping somebody's grabbing his rebound, because he's not even that efficient of a scorer at this point.
No, that's Clarkson's job, who's also having a down year so far.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
Way below his averages. I mean, the Jazz are turning the ball over on offense 17.5% of the time currently, which is 29th in the league out of 30 teams.
Yeah, that's 30 teams, guys.
Yeah.
Those are counting.
So that is not a great turnover percentage. That's like 1 in 6 possessions. We could definitely be doing much better on the turnovers, but we've got to figure out the defense, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got to generate some more turnovers on defense. They're actually second to last generating turnovers. They're 28th in the league at 12.9%. So they're not doing great on generating turnovers as well. So when you're turning the ball over a lot and you're not turning the ball over on getting turnovers on defense, it leads to some of these blowouts that we've seen. And it's been really tough to watch as a Jazz fan, because they'll go through these 4 or 5 minute streaks with a couple of players, and you're just like, this is the team that could actually be something this year. But I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite lineups that was on the court was a game that I was at a couple weeks ago, and they had Omer Yurtseven on the court, John Collins, THT, Jordan Clarkson, and then they also had Keontae George. They were running up and down. They had good energy. Like, they were a fun group to watch because they were actually playing like they wanted to win a basketball game. Every one of them. It was effort plays all the way. I haven't seen it since then.
Yeah, on offense, you got Larry Markkinen, who's doing his job, but the problem is everybody knows he's the first option, and he's not getting the opportunities or getting the looks that he needs to get. And he's not getting the spacing that he needs to get either, because we don't have any threats from shooting right now. You and I both thought Kristen would be a good option, but obviously the Jazz coaching staff see something in him, because his minutes have gone down. He's averaging only 13 minutes a game now. His usage rate has dropped. I got to tell you, man, the eyeball test, and I don't have any stats to back this one up. This is just me watching every Jazz game and wanting to, turn off the Jazz game every single game that I've watched a lot this year.
Man,
except for the Clippers game. That was a pretty good one. But the person I think I had the most confidence running the offense is Kelly Olynyk.
Dude, right?
He seems to be the only guy who has the ability to read the court.
Yeah. How is it that Kelly Olynyk, 7 foot tall big man, is our best passer and facilitator? Just blows me away. Not to mention he's actually shot the ball really well this year.
Yeah, he's shooting really well.
Yeah.
He's shooting over, I believe, he's over He's shooting over 60% from the field, 46% from three, and his turnover rate's actually down. He's at 1.8, I believe.
The best two players on the team right now in turnover percentage are John Collins and Ochai Agbaji. Yeah, but
it's weird to have
Collins takes really good care of the ball, dude.
He's just afraid of the paint.
He's a little afraid of the paint, but he takes good care of it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, but also he doesn't pass the ball.
No.
If John Collins has a little bit of a black hole. If it's going to him, he's shooting it.
And again, I don't know if everybody just missed introductions at the beginning of the year, but those are two players that are trying to take over JC's job there. He's the black hole. He's the one where you pass the ball to and he doesn't go anywhere.
Yep.
And he's also the one that's going to have his head down running into the paint. That's his job. Those are his jobs. We don't need anybody else in the team doing that.
Yeah, but to go to your point though, Kelly Olynyk has the second highest assist percentage, 27.8 of his possessions and in assists. So that's really good. Talon Horton-Tucker is actually leading the team, 33.6. That's one of the highest in the league. Actually,
I'm telling you, when you look at it though, the stats look great, but it does not look good on the court, man.
Yeah,
it does not look good on the court. He doesn't doesn't command the offense. He'll stand there with a dribble in the top of the key, wait for a screen, and the movement of the ball stops and everybody just stands there. He hasn't quite figured out the point guard position yet. And honestly, I don't think Keontae is ready at this point. Unfortunately, I mean, he has spurts. I would argue, though, if we're going to play this way, he should be our starting point guard at this point.
I think some starting, not even starting minutes, okay? And I don't even agree with giving him all the starting minutes. He's up to 19.7 minutes per game. That's quite a bit for a rookie. I mean, I'd like to see what that is in the league, right? Minutes per game for rookies, because
it's the highest playing rookie we have.
I mean, absolutely. So
my point on Taylor Hunton-Tucker is he's undersized for the shooting guard position.
Yep.
So, and that's what he played in. That's basically what his predominant role was in college. It was a shooting guard. He needs to be able to adapt to become a point guard in this league, or he's just not going to have a position in the NBA.
Yeah.
He needs to figure it out.
They're giving Talon Horton-Tucker as much of a shot as they can possibly give him at the cost of sacrificing games at this point. Yeah, I mean, they're okay losing a few games right now as long as he can find his niche and get in there. I mean, the dude's not even 23 years old yet.
Oh, how do we fix this, man? Do we just wait for him to figure it out, or do we make a trade? Do the Jazz even care? What's your take on that, where we're sitting?
I mean, the Jazz need a facilitator that can be a 3-point threat, in my opinion. Right? Somebody that can shoot the ball, but is also willing. They need Mike Conley. What they need is Mike Conley.
I doubt we're going to have him available.
Yeah, I don't know if he's especially because Minnesota looks really good right now.
Yes, they do.
They looked really tough the other night, and Mike Conley was very much a part of that.
I think we're going to find out real quick what the Jazz are going to do. I mean, if they're not in on the first big market free agent point guard that comes out, that's available, that wants out or what have you, if they're not in on that, I think we know which way the Jazz are going this year.
Exactly. If there's any rumors that start flying about somebody becoming available and the Jazz aren't in the talks, then you know that this is just the path they're going. But if that's the case, then let's use them to develop the players. Let's use them. Let's get Keontae on the floor, right?
Let's get Hendricks and Sensabaugh out there. They're averaging 2 minutes a game right now.
Yeah, let's get them.
What are we doing?
Yeah, they're averaging garbage time minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, let's get them out there and get some run time. Let's see what these guys actually have. That's my opinion.
Yeah, we got commenters mentioning, Taylor Hendricks still has great upside. We'd love to see it.
He's a number 9 draft or number 8 draft pick.
Yeah,
of course, he's got ridiculous upside.
Yeah, we'd love to see him play. So, Anyway, let us know in the comments down below, Jazz fans, what you think. Do you think the Utah Jazz are in a bit of a point guard conundrum here? Do you think they have a chance to turn this around? Do you think they'll go for it and try and get a point guard at the trade deadline? Or do you think they're just kind of phoning it in and being okay with this to develop young talent? Let us know in the comments down below for sure.
Go Jazz.
Go Jazz. That's right. Once again, folks, keep in mind this is available as a podcast, a video podcast for everything we talked about. It's going to be available in our playlist. You'll see it on that end of the title card there to see everything we talked about this week. It's also available audio only wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. We are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. We are doing a giveaway. Once we get monetized, we're looking to give away $500 to 5 different subscribers that we're going to randomly pick. Make sure you get in there and get that money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my name is Darren. This is AJ, and this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.